Ah, my stomach! Somebody help me!
This is the reason you must be very careful with close friends. Some are devil in human form. Watch this before eating from people who you think they love and care for you. Before we dive into this beautiful and inspiring story, please kindly like this story, share, and subscribe to this channel for more amazing stories like this. And don't forget to tell of the country or cities you are watching from.
Angela and Jessica were born in the same street, almost the same year. They grew up together like blood sisters. Everybody in their neighborhood in Benin City knew them very well. If you saw Angela, you would see Jessica beside her. They wore the same hairstyles, played the same games, even attended the same church. People often said, these girls now twin way no be twin. But deep inside, Angela always felt like life was not fair. Jessica was always ahead. She was the one teachers praised in school. Whenever results came out, Jessica's name was always at the top. Angela would search for her own name somewhere in the middle, trying to smile so people would not see her pain. In church too, things were the same. If they needed someone to sing solo, they called Jessica. If they needed someone to represent the youth, Jessica's name would be mentioned. And even when Angela tried her best, people clapped for Jessica more. She began to notice how neighbors compared them without even knowing. See Jessica, fine girl, always carrying first. Angela tries small, but no reach you. Those words cut her heart like knife, but she never replied. She just smiled weakly and walked away. As they grew older, the difference became clearer. Jessica got admission to the university first. Angela failed her first attempt and had to stay at home for another year. She tried to be happy for her friend, but anytime she looked at Jessica's admission letter, her chest grew heavy. When Jessica graduated, it was as if the whole street celebrated. Neighbors came to rejoice. Pastors prayed for her. Boys rushed to take pictures with her. Angela was there, clapping and smiling, but when she got home, she locked her room and cried bitterly. Soon, Jessica got a well-paying job almost without stress. She didn't even have to submit many applications. Someone she knew just recommended her. Life opened doors for her with ease. Angela, on the other hand, struggled. Nothing came easy for her. She applied to many jobs, moved from one interview to another, but rejections followed her like shadow. She worked hard, but success was always slow, like a snail moving on hot ground. Sometimes at night, Angela would sit on her bed, staring at the ceiling while tears rolled down her face. She whispered to herself, "Why is Jessica always ahead of me? Why does God love her more than me? Am I not good enough?" She prayed, she fasted, she worked harder, yet nothing seemed to change. And still, she kept those feelings hidden. Anytime Jessica came around, Angela smiled, laughed, and pretended to be happy. She told people she was proud of her friend, but inside her heart, bitterness was growing like fire that no one could see. What scared her most was how that bitterness was beginning to change her thoughts. When Jessica bought new clothes, instead of admiring them, Angela felt envy burn in her chest. When Jessica got compliments, Angela's smile felt heavy. Slowly, the girl who once saw Jessica as a sister began to see her as a rival.
One evening, Jessica rushed to Angela's house, screaming in excitement. Her voice carried through the whole street. "Angela! Angela, guess what?" Angela was in the kitchen, helping her mother, when she heard the shout. She quickly dropped the plate she was washing and ran outside, wiping her wet hands on her wrapper. "What is it? Why you did shout like say you win lottery?" Angela asked, half smiling, half confused. Jessica's face was glowing, her eyes shining brighter than the evening sun. She raised her left hand and flashed a sparkling diamond ring. The ring caught the light and shone like fire. "Jerry proposed to me!" she screamed. Angela froze. For a moment, her heart stopped beating. Her mouth opened wide. "Jesus Christ! Jerry proposed?" Angela asked, her voice trembling. Yes, Jessica shouted again, jumping up and down like a little child. He asked me to marry him last night. Angela, I can't believe it. My dream has come true. Jerry is so rich, so handsome, so kind. He loves me so much. I am the luckiest girl alive. She kept dancing, her laughter echoing around the compound. Neighbors began peeping from their doors and windows, smiling and clapping. Some even rushed outside to congratulate her. Angela forced herself to smile. She hugged Jessica tightly and said, "I'm happy for you, my sister. Congratulations." But as she pressed her friend to her chest, her eyes burned with fire. Her smile was only on the surface. Her heart was boiling inside. Inside her, a dark voice whispered, "Again, again, Jessica is ahead of you." She was the first to go to university, the first to graduate, the first to get a good job, and now the first to marry. She will live in wealth. She will have the best man while you are still struggling. Must she always win? Must she always be the one on top? Angela held the hug longer than necessary, trying to hide the storm in her heart. When Jessica pulled away and continued dancing, Angela just stood there, clapping weakly with the crowd, but her mind was already in a dark place. That night, Angela lay awake on her bed. She could not close her eyes. Her mind replayed the scene over and over again. The ring, the excitement, the neighbors clapping, Jessica dancing like a queen. Every memory pierced her heart like a knife. Her jealousy grew like fire. It consumed her from inside, eating her peace away. "No," she whispered into the darkness of her small room. Her eyes were red, her fists clenched. "No, this wedding will never hold. Not when I am still alive. I cannot allow Jessica to leave me behind again. I cannot let her enjoy everything while I suffer. No, not this time." The more she whispered, the more her heart hardened. It was no longer just jealousy. It was hatred taking root. A seed of evil was planted in Angela's heart that night, and it began to grow silently in the shadows.
Days turned into weeks. Wedding preparations were in full swing. Tailors came to take Jessica's measurements. Invitations were being printed. Her mother moved around proudly, telling neighbors that her daughter was about to marry a man of class. Jessica herself was glowing with happiness. Her face always shone with joy. She laughed more, sang more, and every evening she sat outside with Jerry, holding hands, dreaming about their future together. Everyone in the compound rejoiced with her. Women said, "Jessica is blessed, not so life's supposed be." Men nodded in admiration whenever Jerry came around with his fine car. But in the middle of all this celebration, Angela's heart was a storm. She tried in secret to destroy her friend's relationship. First, she whispered small lies. She told one neighbor that Jerry was not serious, that he was only playing with Jessica. The rumor spread a little, but Jerry proved himself faithful, and the neighbor dismissed it. Another time, Angela sent a fake text message to Jessica's phone, pretending it came from another woman who claimed Jerry was hers. Jessica cried at first, but Jerry showed her the truth, swore his love again, and comforted her. Instead of breaking them, the incident brought them closer. Angela did not stop. She tried to create fights between them. When she saw Jerry at the market one afternoon, she walked up to him and smiled too much, leaning close, pretending to greet him like a sister. Later, she told Jessica that Jerry was admiring her body. But Jessica only laughed and said, "Angela, you were just joking. I trust Jerry with all my heart." No matter what Angela did, Jerry and Jessica's love only grew stronger. One evening, after trying and failing again, Angela sat in her room, staring at her reflection in the mirror. The small light bulb above her head flickered, making her face look strange, almost like she was staring at a stranger. "Why," she whispered, touching her face with shaky fingers, "why can't I be the one?
I am beautiful too. I am smart too. I deserve a man like Jerry. I deserve happiness too, but nobody ever chooses me. Nobody sees me. I am always the shadow standing behind Jessica." Her chest rose and fell with anger. The mirror reflected not just her face, but her pain. She touched her lips, her cheeks, her long neck, as if asking the mirror to confirm her worth, but no answer came. Her eyes filled with tears. She clenched her fists. "This is not fair," she muttered. "This is not fair at all. Jessica has taken everything. Must she also take the man of my dreams?" The jealousy that once pinched her heart now spread like poison in her blood. Every smile Jessica gave Jerry, every gift Jerry bought her, every song they sang together was like a dagger stabbing Angela again and again. Her bitterness slowly turned into hatred. A dark seed had grown roots inside her heart, and now it was bearing fruit. And in that moment, Angela's thoughts crossed a line they had never crossed before. It was no longer about gossip or lies. It was something deeper, darker, more dangerous, something that could destroy everything. Forever. Her heart was heavy, but her mind was sharper than a knife. "I have tried everything, but nothing worked," she whispered to herself, her voice shaking with anger. "I lied against her. I tried to scatter her relationship, but still Jerry loves her more. There is only one way left." She paused, her lips trembling. Then slowly she said the words that sealed her heart in darkness. "If Jessica dies, Jerry will be mine forever." A cold smile spread across her face, a smile that didn't look like hers. It was wicked, dangerous, and full of evil. That night she could not sleep. She tossed and turned on her bed, hearing her own thoughts echo inside her head. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Jessica's glowing face, Jessica's diamond ring, Jessica's laughter, and each time her hatred grew stronger. By morning, her mind was made up. The next Saturday, Angela dressed neatly and carried her handbag like nothing was wrong. She told herself she was only going to visit her best friend, like they always did during weekends. But deep inside, she knew she was carrying death. Jessica welcomed her with open arms. "Angela," she shouted, hugging her warmly, "you don't know how happy I am to see you. Come inside." Angela forced a smile. "I missed you, my sister." Jessica began to show her the new things Jerry had bought her. She brought out perfumes, clothes, handbags, and fine shoes, spreading them across the bed. "See, my sister, Jerry is too good to me. I can't wait for you to stand beside me as my chief bridesmaid. You will look so beautiful in the dress." Angela's heart twisted, but she managed to say, "I'm so happy for you, Jessica." They laughed, they sat together, they talked about the wedding plans. Jessica's voice was full of joy as she described her future with Jerry. Angela nodded and smiled, but inside her heart was as bitter as poison. At last, Jessica stood up. "Wait for me, Angela. Let me bring cold water and food for us." As soon as Jessica left for the kitchen, Angela's hand went into her bag. She brought out a small brown bottle, her fingers shaking. Her heart pounded so loudly she could hear it in her ears. She looked around quickly, making sure nobody was watching. Her lips trembled as she opened the bottle. A strange smell rose from it, sharp and bitter. With a deep breath, Angela poured the poison into Jessica's plate of jollof rice and chicken that was already on the tray. The red rice swallowed the liquid without a trace. Her hands shook violently, but she covered the food fast. She sat back, breathing heavily. "It is done," she whispered to herself. But even as she said it, fear crawled up her spine. When she heard Jessica's footsteps returning, Angela quickly pulled out her phone and pretended to be answering a call. "Hello, Mama? Oh no, what happened? I will come immediately." Jessica entered with 2 glasses of water. She looked confused. "Angela, what is it?" Angela faked panic, clutching her bag. "It's my mother. Something happened. She needs me urgently. I have to go now." "Don't worry, I will come back soon." Jessica frowned. "Should I follow you? Maybe I can help." Angela shook her head quickly. No, stay. Enjoy your food. I will be fine." Before Jessica could argue again, Angela rushed out of the house, her footsteps fast and shaky. Her heart beat like a drum as she walked away, the evil plan burning in her chest. Behind her, Jessica sat down at the table. She prayed quickly over the food, smiled, and began to eat the poisoned rice and chicken, not knowing what her best friend had done.
Minutes later, Jessica felt a sudden, sharp pain in her stomach. At first, she held her belly gently, thinking it was just ordinary stomach upset. But the pain grew stronger, twisting her insides like a knife cutting her open. She dropped her spoon, bent forward, and screamed in agony. "Ah, my stomach! Somebody help me!" Her voice echoed through the compound. Neighbors rushed in from every corner. Some came with wrappers tied loosely, others barefoot carrying lanterns. They met Jessica rolling on the floor, clutching her belly, sweat pouring down her face like rain. Her lips were trembling, her eyes wide with terror. "What happened? Jessica, talk to us!" one woman shouted. Another man sprinkled water on her face, shaking his head in fear. Jessica opened her mouth, her voice weak and broken. Angela was here. I ate." Her words faded into cries. She coughed, vomited, and screamed again. The neighbors panicked. "Quick, carry her to hospital!" 2 young men lifted her onto their shoulders while others cleared the way. Jessica's mother, hearing the noise, ran out and almost collapsed when she saw her daughter's condition. "Jesus, my daughter! Don't die on me, oh!" she wailed, running after them. At the hospital, the nurses rushed her in. Doctors worked desperately, giving injections, putting drips, pressing her chest. The smell of medicine filled the room. Jessica groaned and twisted, fighting for her life, but the poison was too strong. By evening, the machines stopped beeping. Jessica's chest rose one last time, then went still. The doctor removed his gloves and shook his head slowly. "I am sorry. We did our best." Jessica was gone. News spread like wildfire across Benin City. The whole street was thrown into mourning. Women wailed loudly, rolling on the ground. Some tore their wrappers in grief. Men stood in groups, shaking their heads, saying, "This world is wicked. Who could do this to such a good girl?" Children sat quietly in corners, too afraid to ask questions. The compound that once echoed with Jessica's laughter was now filled with cries of sorrow. When Jessica's parents heard the final news, her mother fainted on the spot. Her father sat on the ground, hitting his chest and crying like a child. "My daughter! My daughter! Why you leave us so soon?" Jerry, her fiancé, was completely broken. He collapsed on the hospital floor, tears running freely from his eyes. His voice was hoarse from shouting. "No! Jessica, you promised me forever! You said we would build a home together! You said you would stand beside me at the altar! Jessica, please wake up!" He shook her lifeless body, begging her to return, but she was gone. The hospital ward was filled with sorrow. a silence heavy like death itself. And in the middle of that sorrow, one name kept coming up in whispers. Angela.
Thanks, guys, for watching this video. If you want us to continue this story, kindly tell us on the comments section. Like and share with friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe for more.